Hello, today I want to discuss American Animals, coming out on September the 7th. This is a very, very good movie. This stars Evan Peters and Barry Keoghan. He's Irish, I'll tell you about him in a moment. Plus Blake Jennings and other actors you won't really know much about. But this is a really great movie. Directed by a guy called Barry Layton, something like that. And I liked him a lot. He directed this really well. But the main characters in this, Evan Peters, who's from a program called American Horror. It's like a TV series. I've never watched it. But the other character, the other actor, Barry, has had a really interesting lifestyle because he's 25 years old. He's from Dublin, which I absolutely love Dublin. Have you ever been there? My wife's from there, so I've got to say how much I love it. But more importantly, what an upbringing this kid has had. Very unusual. He lived in a place called Summerhill, which is the shithole of the world. I mean, it's a dump in Dublin. If you've ever been there, the Avon ladies go around in 2x2s. I mean, you don't fucking... If you go there with a milk van, you've got a shotgun. I mean, most of Dublin go there just to visit their hobcaps. It's a real toilet. And he had a... This is a true story about him. He had a mother who was a heroin addict. She died at 31. He had 15 foster parents by the age of 16. He did a little bit of work on some local stuff like Love and Hate, which I love, a TV series from. If you've ever get to blog, get that download. Love and Hate. It's got every Irish actor working in the world is in it at the moment. It's the bee's knees. You must try and get hold of it. And he did a thing called Sacred Deer with Nicola Kidman. He did Dunkirk, which I really like, Dunkirk. And this is him in this. Now, this film is so unique. Channel 4 are groundbreaking. Yeah, is that right? Yeah. Anyway, they're very good at finding new directors. And the reason I like this is because I've just watched a documentary on Lock, Stock and Smoking Barrel. And Guy Ritchie set that film. If you knew how much trouble there was making that film, you wouldn't believe. You've got to download that on YouTube. Download the making of Lock, Stock. And the trouble they had making that film, it took 3 years to get it off the ground. Thank God for Sting's wife. It'll never be made. Anyway, the reason I want to say this guy is going to set a trend, this director. And I'll tell you why. His photography is fantastic. Please God, I hope it's him that chose the soundtrack. The soundtrack from this film is the bee's knees. It's the best soundtrack of the year for me for a movie, right? But more importantly, it's his way the way he moves the camera around the actors. It's really clever. And this is unique in itself because they've got the real people, because it's a true story about a crime. I'll tell you about it in a moment. About how they use the real people. And then they use the actor acting, and then he said, well, actually, that scene did go like this. I mean, it really is a great movie. I know it sounds like a documentary. Trust me, it's not. It's boom, boom, boom. So here's the plot. Two college kids, one's a dropout, one's quite good on the art world, get involved looking at a book inside Transylvania University. I thought that was in Romania. Anyway, they're going to rob this book worth $12 million, right? It's in a glass case. An old girl's got the key. They've sussed out, nicked the book, get it over to Amsterdam, bung it on the black market and make a few quid, and then got to work for the rest of their lives. They bring in these other two stooges, who are also, you'll see them in real life. And I'm not going to spoil it, but it is a really, really good film. I like heist movies, but more importantly, I like true stories. But more importantly for me on this film, editing, lighting, direction, music, acting, 5-star. In fact, I'm actually going to give this movie 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. This is definitely a must-see movie. I know Rotten Tomato have gone something like 80%, which is as high as one of the highest you can go for that type of independent film. I can't go any more into it because I spoil the plot, but do not miss this kid. I'm going to put this kid, Barry, if he's watching this, and I hope somebody sends it to him, listen, my son, you are up there with the Tom Hardys. Trust me, you're going to be a big star. This is groundbreaking performance. Right, don't get me emotional. So, I want to talk about films that are coming out. Films that are coming out. We're going to start with Widows. Does it sound familiar to you, Widows? It fucking should do, because Linda LaPlante made a TV series of this in the 1990s. And it's about four women. Sorry, I can't say tarts, not politically correct. Four women are living with gangsters. Two of them get killed or something like that, and they end up fucking having to do the jobs themselves because they ain't got a pot to piss in, they ain't got no money. Now they've remade this with Hollywood. Hollywood has remade this, and it's fucking A-list. So you got Liam Neeson, he'll be part of the gang he's in everything, him. And then you got my favourite character actor in America, Robert Duvall, but the headliner are the women. And this film is coming out soon. I'm not going to say it's got Oscar buzz, but it's got blockbuster buzz. Now let's talk about the Oscars. I've got to get my pad here. If Beale Street could talk, I repeat that, if Beale Street could talk, Beale, is a black American film. The buzz behind this film is incredible. I'm going to put my neck on the line and say this will definitely be in the Oscar mentions. The storyline is a famous book. They reckon this acting, everything, they're throwing everything at this. The publicity behind it, I've seen the trailer. I must admit it does look good. But here's one I think will fuck it. And it is called The Green Book. Not like my book, this is black. Green Book. Viggo Mortensen. Now there's a name that I pronounced correctly. Probably didn't do I give a fuck now. And a black actor who I definitely can't pronounce, but was in that movie that actually won the Oscar when the other silly thing thought he won the Oscar, but it was the anyway. So he's really good in this. He is playing a pianist who's at top of his game, and it's from the 1950s, 1960s, and this guy is having trouble getting into venues. So he hires Viggo Mortensen to drive him around because he's a heavy, part of an ex-gang that split up. Now the relationship between the two of them is quite incredible. But I'm going to put my neck on the line and say this will definitely be, for me, one of the films of the year. I'm going to say actually it will win an Oscar. It's a Driving Miss Daisy for the millennium. This looks the absolute bee's knees. And I'm going to go and put my head on the line without even seeing it. I'm going to say I feel this will definitely drive towards the Oscars. It's called Green Book. Now, you're probably thinking, well, that's all very nice, gal, but where can I get these? Well, the trailers are links underneath this blog. So please, again, subscribe, like the videos. If you don't like it, make a comment, whatever. I had the best comment I've had for ages the other day from a guy called Mick. Thank you very much, Mick. And it was about an awful movie called Ocean's 8, starring all those silly women. And, well, they're good actors, but they're just a silly fucking storyline. And he said, the most natural and unpolitically correct reviewer on YouTube tells the truth, I'm subscribing. Something along those lines. Thank you, Mick. But that's how I see it, is how I tell it. American Animals is a must-see moment so far for me this year. I want you to see it. September, it ain't going to be a big release. I'll be amazed if they don't go along with me on this, because I was ahead of the game with the Equalizer 2. I said Equalizer 2 was shit, and the rest have followed. What more do I need to say? What more do I need to say? The press follow me. I don't follow the press. So here's one for you. American Animals, 8 out of 10. Have a good day. Might be doing another review with my son because he wants to do one. We'll see in the next couple of days. All the best.